This episode of the Gold Blooded Podcast is brought to you by mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. Use promo code GOLDBLOOD, one word, to match up to 100% of your initial deposit.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. It's a madhouse at Candlestick.
Think we're done? We're just getting started.
Young almost falls down, throws to the end zone.
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in a gun, the throw on his left hip. 3rd down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good! Touchdown, 40. Vernon Davis with the play of his life. It all comes to this 4th down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun, Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap, looking, pressure, throws middle, broken up by Navarro Bowman, and the 49ers silence the house.
Last time for this, you cunts. So we're here. This is our last episode for the NFL regular season. We are going to take a few weeks off and then reconvene with our off-season malarkey that we get down with. You know what the off-season's for.
Cunts.
I know there's still playoffs, but, I don't fuck with, when the Niners aren't in it, I really don't like fucking with this shit, but whatever. It makes me sad. It's been about 9 years since we've been in the playoffs. Nobody cares. So now we're going to talk about how piss poor we did picking wins and losses. I hope you people were gambling.
You did.
Well, whatever. Fuck you. You couldn't be that consistent. I hope.
I think as a whole, it's safe to say we suck.
Yeah. Come on. Oh, because you had 3 more wins than me. Ooh.
Certainly your total has brought us down.
Yeah.
The worst after you is 3 better than you.
Yeah.
So it's clear that you brought the average down.
Hey, I do what I can.
But if you throw out the best and the worst, we still aren't above 500. So we're not good as a whole.
There you go. Well, we are, yeah. My overall season record was 5-12, and I stand by that. I hope all you people were gambling at home alongside of me.
Against you.
That's right.
What makes it pathetic isn't that we're 41-44 as a whole. What makes it pathetic is that we could pick any game of the whole week.
Yeah.
We weren't forced into picking a game. We could literally pick any game we wanted with any of the spread that was out there, and we still couldn't hit 500.
I know, that's crazy, isn't it? It shows you how much money you can't make gambling.
To be fair, if Joe was 8-9 like the next place person was, we would be well above 500.
Yes, we would.
No, you'd be 500 exactly.
No, try again.
Oh, yeah.
We'd be 44.
You're right.
Yeah.
Not well above, but certainly above.
Yeah, well, hey.
We haven't crowned the champion yet, which is Chris, who finished the season strong. Another win last week finished him off with a record of 11-6.
I'd like to get finished off.
I edged out Rob for second place with the Colts pick. That put me at 9-8. Rob took the Saints last week.
That didn't work out so well.
Teddy finished at 8-9. Curran
with that last minute push.
Last minute pick tied Rob for third place with the Bears pick, and Joe, as he already alluded to, finished with a record of 5-12.
I would like to say this for those gambling at home. If those people knew about what the fuck they were dealing with, all they had to do was bet against me, and they would have won the most out of anybody. So there's that.
Very true.
So for those sketchy fuckers gambling at home, is there mystery quote this week?
Yes, there is.
I thought we were going to get into predicting the playoff bracket.
We could do that because, yes, that is...
Okay.
So instead of a lock of the week this week, we're going to end up giving you our entire playoff bracket, which is probably something you don't care about. We're mainly doing it just for us because it's fun. And when we return, it'll likely be after the Super Bowl, so we'll all be able to see how we did.
See how piss poorly we did.
So, Chris, the bracket.
Whichever one he pulls up first is going first.
Joe.
Yeah, that's right.
Joe's bracket's first. All right, go for it.
All right, hold on, because I want to write this along as I do it, so I could...
Well, you could just take a picture of it.
He's going to do this and send it to us.
Oh, wonderful! All right,
Baltimore or L.A.?
Chargers.
Okay, the 5 seed. I wouldn't go crazy, Chris. That might move.
Yeah, no, it's definitely moving. That's going to be the... I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm sorry, I'm taking the Colts. So Colts goes up there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Colts.
Yeah, Chris, I got a mouse somewhere. I don't know where.
Then I want... then Kansas
This isn't
City.
going to help you, though, when we get out further. This is a bad...
Yeah,
your
that's
plan
a bad
is-
format.
Your plan is bad already.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
put L.A.
I
Oh, no.
for Indy.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll
LA.
work. All right.
Perfect.
So next pick
So
is...
now you've got Indy. You want to go there or you want to go here?
Well, it's
We'll
up to Joe.
Let's stay in the AFC.
Okay.
Um,
Kansas City, Indy. In
yeah,
Kansas City.
Yeah, that's KC.
Okay.
You can just put a K. You don't have to go any further.
Then that's LA.
L.A.
And
over New
then-
England.
Yeah, and then I think the Chargers shocked the world.
The Chargers
good
make
pick.
it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think they shocked
good
the
pick.
world. All right, I got...
That game, by the way, would be in Kansas City.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I got Dallas.
It's no difference
beating
to
them.
Kansas City. They don't have a home field advantage anyway.
And what's the Chicago and who? Philly. Oh, I got Philly.
Then you got to put Philly up there.
Yeah. This is great. Chris trying to write in the art pad.
Don't you got an
with,
eraser?
doesn't even have a mouse. He just has the touchpad trying to write
There in the
letters.
pink. Up there in the pink.
The pink and the stink.
Get in the pink, Chris.
Pink and the stink.
There you go.
All right, so
There
you
go.
got
You got a D
And you
down
gotta
here. I
put
don't know what
you
that
gotta
C is.
put a D there.
That's supposed to be a D, not a C.
You gotta put a D there. The D.
Put a D on it. Put a D in the pink.
all right. So Philly
All right.
in New Orleans.
That's a fucking hot game. But I'm saying Philly upsets him. His magic runs a little longer.
L.A.
Dallas and LA.
Yeah, it's gonna be L.A. LA's going all the way. It's LA versus LA in the Super Bowl. I'm making a weird pick.
And who wins?
Oh, LA.
Bold.
We know it's them because it's coming from there.
Yeah.
Who wins? I think the fucking Rams.
It's in a dome. It's in the Georgia Dome.
I think the Rams do it.
Usually favors the team with the most speed.
All right, save that one.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I don't know. We won't know until we get there.
We told Kern he didn't need to pick anything.
That's all right.
That's right.
don't
We'll have
need
to get
do
his off
this.
air.
Yeah. Okay, my bracket. All right. Oh, Baltimore, LA. We'll start there. I'm going Baltimore. Upset over the
Slow
Chargers. That defense.
Unless Indy wins.
Not necessarily. And, fuck yeah, I'm taking Indy. Sorry, Chris.
No, that's I. Oh, you could have left it. It was I.
Yeah.
I and B.
As I get to mine, I'll have this down.
B.
All right, Indy versus Kansas City. I'm going Kansas City. And New England, Baltimore at New England. I'm taking Baltimore there.
They've come close a couple times.
New England
Lamar
ain't.
Jackson, huh?
New England ain't shit.
Lamar Jackson doing what Falco could.
Well, it's the defense. That defense is fucking something else. I mean, Lamar Jackson is definitely helping them with his rushing ability, but he ain't. He's throwing. He's averaging a fumble a week, actually, a fumble for a turnover every single week. But it's that defense that's carrying them, and they're gonna fucking smother Tom Brady in New England. Kansas City, Baltimore. These two teams met a few weeks ago, and Baltimore pushed them to the fucking brink, and I believe forced it into overtime. I'm taking Baltimore. Baltimore's going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
They're going to win in Kansas City and in New England.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty bold.
Defense and rushing travels. All right, other side of the bracket. Dallas, Seattle. I'm taking Seattle. You got more
Game's in
playoff.
Dallas.
They got a quarterback that has more playoff experience.
We should start from the bottom. That'll make your life easier.
Yeah, it would. Chicago, Philly. Cool. This is probably the toughest one. And it's in Chicago, but Philly has so much more playoff experience just based on what they had last year. I gotta take Philly. No, I'm changing my mind. I'm going Chicago. It was that close. Seattle. All right, Seattle at New Orleans. That's New Orleans. New Orleans isn't losing in New Orleans. L.A. versus Chicago. I'm taking Chicago. And New Orleans versus Chicago. That would be in New Orleans. I'm taking New Orleans. And the Super Bowl champion. Baltimore versus New Orleans. Georgia Dome. Building that Drew Brees plays in all the time. And domes typically favor skill position players with a lot of speed. I'm taking New Orleans, Super Bowl champs.
Nah.
Rob.
All right. I'm going to start on the bottom. And I'm also taking Indy. I'm going to take the Chargers.
Nobody liking Houston, huh?
I'm going to go over here.
You didn't take Houston, right?
I'm going to take the Bears. The Bears. Up here, I'm going to take Seattle.
Seattle over Dallas.
Now I'm going to take New Orleans at home. I am also going to take the Bears on the road. Kansas City at home over Indy. I'm going to take the Chargers over the Patriots. And I'm going to go the most predictable 1-1. Kansas City and New Orleans. But I'm going to take Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl champion.
Without their running back. That'd be wild.
Well, you know how I feel about that.
All right. I am going to
Do it.
do.
Houston, Indy.
I'll break the mold. I'm gonna go Houston.
That's a good strategy because we all picked against Houston. So if you hit that one, that's a major swing in your direction for this.
That's 1 point.
Yeah, but that's -1 for every single one of us.
Yeah, but it's a 1 point swing.
And then if you pick the
Now, where it fucks us is anybody that had it.
If Houston makes it any further, yeah.
I gotta go Baltimore here.
All right.
Baltimore over the Chargers.
It's because his boyfriend did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Chargers are playing good ball.
I'm gonna
Boyfriend.
I'm gonna do New England here.
New England over Houston.
Yep.
Baltimore, Kansas City.
KC home.
Yep.
I guess I gotta go with KC here.
You don't have to.
No, I do. And then I think Kansas City upsets.
Kansas City in
Or
the Super Bowl.
They hold their first seed. Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Start down
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna do.
Chicago, Philly. It's in Chicago.
I gotta go Philly. So they'll go to New Orleans, and then
Seattle, Dallas.
I'm gonna do Dallas here.
Chris does Dallas.
Dallas at the Rams.
Did you have Dallas or Seattle?
I had Dallas.
And then I'm going to do...
I've seen Debbie does Dallas, but now I'm going to see Chris does Dallas.
That's right.
New Orleans beats Dallas. Or Philly. And then...
L.A. versus
Rams Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, I gotta go L.A.
So you've got the number 1 and 2 seed on both sides of the bracket.
Yeah.
Do I really?
Yeah, you do.
Keep it basic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean,
me
it's
guess.
the most predictable,
Let me
I
guess,
suppose.
Chris.
New Orleans.
Nope.
L.A.
Don't do
over
it
New
just to do
Orleans.
it.
No, I want to...
Don't do it just to do it, because if you end up losing,
All
I
right,
want
so
to hear
Chris
it.
has got a Kansas City, L.A. Rams Super Bowl. Who's winning?
L.A.
What do you think the score on that would be? 80 to fucking 75?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the last one
That's
was.
what the NFL wants.
It'll be
yeah.
an over-under of 120. All right, I'm doing L.A.
All right.
That's it.
So we are moving on to Mystery Quote.
Mystery quote.
I don't know if that segment was fun for anyone except for us. It might have been painful.
That was
probably
fucking
terrible.
real
It's probably
painful.
awful, but
Yeah.
whatever. We did
Perfect
it for
way to
us
end
because
the
it was
season.
fun.
Cox on Cox on Cox.
It was as painful as the first 5 minutes of this fucking football game we watched.
Yeah, that was painful.
Or as 10 games this year, 12 games this year.
All right, Mystery Quote number 1.
1.
This is a current
Zach Gentry.
player,
Gentry.
and that's as far as I'll go.
I just saw his name.
Current player.
Tyreek Hill.
It hurts when you don't have one of the better players in the game. But I think the biggest thing that hurts us was that it was a distraction. That's it.
Antonio Brown.
Nope.
Right team.
The quarterback. Roethlisberger.
Nope.
Yes,
Oh, was
talking
it?
about who?
Oh, he's talking about
Bell or Brown?
Yes, Bell.
Yeah, one of them jagoffs.
Okay, and Mystery Quote number 2.
2.
This is a current player. I won't say offense or defense.
Connor McGovern.
I think the difference between certain teams that reach the playoffs and ones that don't is when you have a certain group of guys who just keep it real with each other.
Oh, I know this one.
You just don't care about other things. You just play for each other. I think we have been playing for each other, but on the keeping it real point, I think we've got a lot of guys who just don't keep it real, man.
Oh, so that's got to be a team that didn't make the playoffs.
Did not make the
That
playoffs.
sounds like the Steelers again.
Nope. If the Steelers were in a smaller market, this team is kind of similar.
Houston?
Nope. Well, Houston made the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Not Houston.
It's always
Tennessee.
No. It's always just a drama shit show there all the time.
Stubby.
Nope.
What?
Oakland.
Yeah. That's Michael.
Nope.
Didn't make the playoffs.
Drama
so it's
shit
not
show.
us. It's not the Cardinals.
Jacksonville.
Nope.
Ooh, that was a good guess. Miami.
Nope.
I don't even know if they made the
Same
playoffs.
state.
We just looked at the bracket. I don't even know if they
Yeah.
made the playoffs.
Well,
Oh, okay. So Tampa Bay.
Yep, Tampa Bay.
Ah.
And that was it's defensive player.
Is it
Stubby.
someone I'm going to know?
Stubby.
4th of July.
Oh, okay. I got it.
He's got a hook.
Yeah, Paul, Jason
Pierre-Paul.
I
All right.
don't know why he became mentally challenged, but
Mystery Quote number 3.
number 3.
This is a figure in an NFL front office. I am disappointed in the behavior today from player A and player B. They were disrespectful, selfish, and their behavior was unbecoming that of a professional football player.
I know it.
You know it. Joe, do you know it?
No.
You say a front office.
A front office figure. A well-known
Well-known.
name that you
Elway?
definitely know.
Everyone in the room knows the name.
Elway?
Yeah. No, not Elway.
Jerry Jones?
Nope.
It's a name like that. Everyone in here knows the name.
Robert
Yep.
Kraft?
Nope.
And I won't have to tell you what team when you hear the name. You know.
Dan Snyder?
Nope.
AFC.
Yeah.
I had to think.
Mark,
legit had to think.
Mark Davis?
Nope.
AFC South. I guess. I'm
Yep.
assuming.
Khan?
Former head coach.
Oh.
Super Bowl champion.
Terry Bradshaw?
Nope. Nope.
Is it out of this? No, not this.
NFC head coach when he won the Super Bowl.
He was an NFC head coach.
Jerry Glanville?
Nope.
You're both going to be... Sean Payton isn't in the AFC now.
No, you said he was in the NFC.
When he won the Super Bowl. Now he's in AFC front office.
Mike Ditka?
Nope. He is definitely not in any front office.
It seems so
Rex
dumb
Ryan?
when you know the answer.
Yeah.
You know, like... But,
Recent Super Bowl champion. It's kind of recent.
yeah, recent enough.
At our expense.
Somebody from the Ravens?
No.
Nope.
At our expense.
Almost directly at our expense.
Yeah, most likely.
I give up.
Almost directly at Kyle Williams'
McCarthy.
expense.
The Giants?
Yep.
So I don't know, though.
Tom Coughlin, Jesus Christ.
Oh!
He said Tom Coughlin, didn't he?
No.
I know, I never
Definitely.
Oh,
did.
I thought he said it already.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking.
That was Tom Coughlin talking about
I'm
running
on
backs T.J. Yeldon and Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette
It wasn't
did not
even that
play.
crazy, right?
They were seen sitting on the bench,
Instead of
not
like
paying
standing up,
attention.
being engaged.
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
Whatever it was. I remember when I read the quote first and I was like, oh, what did they do? And then when I read it, I was like,
They were just sitting on the bench.
okay.
But I guess they
if they're not
seemed-
in the fucking playoffs, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's what he was pissed about.
Fournette and Yeldon.
They were like sitting on the bench fucking around, like not watching the game.
Yeah.
But it's like week 17 and they suck.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's a Coughlin thing, though. That's why Coughlin was the guy. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't bother.
Coach, yeah, okay.
If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't bother.
I think I read that article last week.
Yeah,
When
it's
we
recent.
talked about the other guy.
All right, this one is not that good, but I'll do it anyway. All right, so this is a general manager of a team. You don't have to guess the general manager. You just have to guess the team or the player he's talking about.
The Yankees.
He is part of our plan. You saw some plays he still made yesterday. I think if we can improve in other areas, that will help him. I'm not a believer that he is done. I know you're talking about his number around $6 million. If he gets back to form and we get our offense going, I think he can still be a weapon.
Oh, weapon. I was going to say Eli Manning.
This is a team that did not make the playoffs.
It's got to be an age. Larry Fitzgerald?
Nope. Good guess. Probably should have traded him this year when they had the chance, because I don't think they're going very far next year, even if they do keep this player.
$6 million. That's not a high number, so it's not a number one wide receiver.
Nope.
It's got to be.
It's definitely a wide receiver.
No.
He didn't say it was or wasn't. I just know it's not a number one wide receiver.
Not a number one
$6
wide
million
receiver.
could be a number one running
Could be,
back,
yeah,
but probably
could
not
be.
a wide receiver.
Was a big name like 3 years ago. Even last year, he had a really good year.
Fell off this year.
Definitely fell off this year, but a shit team around him.
Adrian Peterson.
Nope. Good guess, though. He had a pretty good
Marshawn
year,
Lynch?
though. Nope. Left a little drama behind his original city based on a certain coach that we knew very well for a little bit of...
in the Cowboys.
Crabtree.
Nope.
No,
Jordy
the other one.
Nelson.
Nope.
No, the other one. Fuck.
Cowboys.
He's on the Cowboys.
Zeke.
now. No, he was on the Raiders. Now he's on the Cowboys.
Nope.
Cooper.
I figured his number was higher too.
Uh,
Drama at the old team.
I give up.
Currently AFC East.
Eric Decker.
Nope.
Josh Gordon.
Nope.
He's dead.
Running back.
He's dead.
LeGarrette Blount.
No. Blouse.
Frank Gore.
Team is
Nope.
currently dead. So who's the Buffalo running back? It's got to be Buffalo.
Oh, Shady McCoy.
Yep.
Oh.
Definitely could have traded him this year. Why they didn't, I will never know.
Because they love sucking.
Shady McCoy means absolutely nothing to the city of Buffalo. And
means nothing to the rest of the NFL currently.
their team, maybe, in their wildest dreams, maybe pushes for a wild card spot next
Welcome
year.
to the CFL.
Why not? They could have probably traded him for like a third-round pick early in the year before he
They
got
also
dinged
could have
up.
won one of the fucking 18 Super Bowls they lost.
You don't
Or
know.
that.
You don't
Team's
know what that
destined
was
to
like.
fucking lose.
That was crazy.
I can
That team
only
is
imagine.
destined to fucking
I can
lose.
only fucking imagine
4
going
years
through
in
that.
a row.
After 2, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
I can only imagine
After 2,
going through that.
when you
as
get
a
to the
fucking
third
fan.
year, you know you're going to lose, so you've already lost.
fourth-
There's no coach in the world that can go, hey, listen, I know we've lost the last 2 in a row. This is our year. It's just not possible.
Or 3 in a row.
It's even worse. I know that we've lost 3 of these, but we've got to get lucky one of these. Like, you can't. There's no way to motivate a team
Yeah.
to go, you've got it this year. This year's different. It's just not possible.
Like that fourth one.
The second one, yes.
Yeah.
This is your chance to make up for
That
what you
was
did.
awkward.
There's some shit that's happened in this league that I cannot imagine going through as a fan, especially at like the current age I am now, where I'm like,
There's still stuff. It happens all the time. I mean, the fact that Harbaugh took us to 3 straight NFC championships is fucking ridiculous.
right, not as crazy as
off the streets.
4 Super Bowls in a
agreed.
row.
Except that we came off the street. He came off the street with a shit team and took him to 3 NFC championships.
Yeah, that
in a
was
row.
nuts. But like, I always talk about
Even
the
Sanchez was in 2 AFC championships.
Back to back.
What the fuck?
crazy on the opposite end of the spectrum. You're a Cleveland Browns fan, and your team leaves you in the middle of the night and becomes the Baltimore Ravens. And then let's just say you follow them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm a Ravens fan now. 2 years later, boom, there's a new Cleveland Browns team. What do you do then?
I don't know. Commit suicide on the field.
You've already 2 years invested in Baltimore Ravens.
Well, you look at the
Now
two
you
of
got
them
your
and
Browns
you
back.
Stay with
Yeah.
fucking Baltimore.
And they play in the same division.
You
they're in the
gotta
same
stay with
division.
Baltimore.
Yeah, that's
You gotta.
that's a flim flam fuck job.
That's fucked.
That's fucked. All right, so what are we gonna do? The bold prediction recap?
Yeah, I've been talking a lot. Somebody else take this one. Rob or somebody.
All right, so we did the bold prediction recap here. We all missed on them. Steve had one.
not true.
No, Steve had one. Steve
Chris had one too.
Okay, hang on. Slow down. Steve, he said we were going to have the top 5. Fuck. What do you want me to do with that?
He just hashtag fucked you right in the middle of your
So
segment.
Steve's bold 49ers prediction was that we would have a top 5 turnover ratio. The stats show that we finished 32nd.
A negative
at
25.
Negative 25. Care to guess what the 31st place team was?
+1.
Negative 18. We lost by 7.
Wow.
And as you see, I put the first place team up there just so you could see the radical difference.
Yeah.
Seattle finished first at +15.
Really?
That's
Seattle was over Chicago?
Yep. That's a difference of 40 if you're keeping track.
40!
40 in 16 fucking games. That's 2.5 per game. That is fucking ridiculous.
Phenomenally terrible.
That's a 2.5 difference per game, not total, between them and us. That is fucking insane.
So do you want to do the other
Joe,
thing now? Okay.
Joe had us winning the Super Bowl, head coach of the year, because we all know Joe's such a big Kyle Shanahan fan, and defensive player of the year.
Oh, and the MVP.
And the MVP.
Oh, I forgot MVP. Sorry. We still have a shot at defensive player of the year.
Nah.
So these are all a no. That's what I put.
Yeah, thank you.
I said that we would be a top 5 scoring offense. We finished 21st at 21.4 points per game. Kansas City won that. They were 35.3 points per game. Chris says this fucking Brenda would be
Brenda
it's
got
a much
it,
less
baby.
awkward statement.
Yeah.
Chris said Breida would take a bigger load for Morris. And he did, in fact, take a bigger load for Morris. He took a bigger load, for sure. Curran said that Jimmy would be the highest passer rating in the NFL, but he would be 3rd in interceptions. I didn't check his passer rating. He still could be highest, but I don't think he was.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, no.
Moving on to our
Mullins had a higher than him.
NFL bold predictions. Steve had the Jaguars wouldn't make the playoffs, and he was correct.
Yay!
Joe said that by the end of the season, Jerry Jones would not be running the Cowboys, and that his son would.
It's not over yet.
That did not happen.
Not yet.
I said that the Rams would not make the playoffs. They are, in fact, the number 1 seed, I believe. No, number 2 seed.
Number 2.
Chris said that the Jets and Browns would merge teams for a victory attempt. In fact, the Browns had more wins than us. Curran said that John Gruden would have a Jim Mora-esque, not sequel, esque press conference when the Raiders were 2-7. The Raiders were, in fact, after 9 games, 1-8.
Oh,
But he did not have a meltdown.
no, they kept it quiet.
Sure, NFL football season is here. Playoffs are here.
They're here.
And it is time to get in on the action
Action.
with MyBookie.
My book.
Don't be that guy with no rooting interest
Interest.
as your relatives or friends sit around watching the games.
Games.
Not this year.
Nah, year.
The 53rd
Big game.
game is around the corner.
Corner.
It really is.
It is.
The-
most.
I knew I'd get him eventually. Wonderful time of the year.
Make sure you're ready for the daily action by
Action.
signing up at MyBookie today.
Today.
They pay fast when you win.
Win.
Ownership really cares about good customer service. And they offer the craziest props.
Where you bet is just as important as who you're betting on. And if you want to make money during bowl season, you gotta go to MyBookie. I trust them, but you don't have to take my word for it.
Word for it.
Check them out yourself.
Join now, and MyBookie will offer you a 50% deposit bonus. Like how I pause because I know when it's coming. Make sure you have a nice bankroll
Roll.
for bowl season. Use promo code
Gold Blood
when you deposit to activate the offer. That's promo code
Gold Blood.
At MyBookie, you play.
You win.
You win.
You get paid. Never again will I read one of these. I'm putting that
That's
out
your
there.
fault. You started it.
What?
We would just be reading along and you start fucking echoing us in the middle of our
I
sentences.
just mean that I can't.
Well, until next year.
I can't see.
You know
them.
they're coming back.
I
next
can't.
year.
As long as they give us fucking
I can't see them.
$10,000 again, they're in.
I can't see them coming back.
I heard Joe Rogan doing a MyBookie ad.
Yeah,
No shit.
Joey Diaz does them too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a different fucking level there.
I agree.
Joe Rogan has Kanye West coming out.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. That's gonna be weird. That's like my two worlds colliding. That's like when you bring two girls to a hardcore show at once. You know, it's just too much.
So we've decided for Shoeslinger, we're going to go with a wild card this week.
Wild card.
Chris and Steve and I will each pick someone to Shoesling.
Sling.
And then the three of us will vote on it. Joe still has no part about it.
Okay.
I don't even really want to shoe sling anybody, but
Too
whatever.
bad.
Oh, it'll be worth it.
Not really. I don't like making fun of people.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I'd rather be nice to everybody.
That was a good one.
I'm not feeling well.
Do they have to be current players?
No. Anybody you want.
anybody.
Anyone NFL related.
I just Googled the top 10 ugliest players in the NFL. So
Oh, you're on that too?
I'm cheating.
I'm on the same one.
All right. Well, they are ugly, so I'm going to choose from the players.
Well, they are ugly.
This guy's nickname is Refrigerator.
Yeah, Perry.
Yeah, Perry.
I don't know.
He loved that he said that like no one knew
I don't
who
know.
he was.
The Hall of Fame
Where the fuck this guy is? His nickname is Refrigerator.
scored a touchdown in his Super
All three of us
Bowl.
like, you mean Perry?
He literally. Oh, God. Is this real?
Where the fuck this guy is? His name is Steve Young. Who the fuck is that? Refrigerator Perry.
There's some. There's. I don't know.
All right, so who's going first?
Refrigerator Perry.
No, he's not that ugly.
He's
He's missing a tooth.
He's
That's
a
it.
beautiful.
Did you
soul.
pick one?
Yeah. Steve,
What?
You
is
should.
he number 2 and number
don't-
1?
Yeah, they're brothers.
Joe's not looking.
That might as
hold
well-
on. Joe's not looking.
Yeah.
So don't say the name.
Okay.
Just type it in and put it up.
Yeah, I don't think.
And then he can tell you, and you can put it up, and I'll tell you and put it up, just in case. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Okay.
And then we'll come up with a way to vote on this. I think the reveal is going to be the best part. If he hears the voting, I think it'll ruin it.
Yeah.
Well, the one that Chris is doing right now is definitely not a name that Joe knows.
You don't know what I know.
All right. This
Who are
one's
you?
mine. I'm bringing him up.
Is it Zach Gentry?
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good.
All the whispering going on in here is like
Yeah. We just had to covert op our answers
like
to
seven
You
Chris.
didn't see mine.
It's like 7 minutes in heaven.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is it Crabtree?
No.
That
Better.
would be good too.
Better.
You said this one?
Yeah.
I should probably add that.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there one that was on the team?
No.
Is this the one? No.
No. I meant Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That's mine.
Didn't we do him before?
Yeah, but it was
Oh,
it's so
yeah.
great.
Oh, I don't know how to vote on this.
It's so
Okay,
great.
here's the rules. We all get a vote, but
Yeah.
you can't vote for the guy that you put up.
Okay.
That's how we're going to get.
All right.
Otherwise, we're all just going to pick one, and then we're going to keep going.
Yep.
So y'all get to choose.
Holy shit.
Y'all get to choose which picture too.
All right. My.
So, yeah, you choose one. You want this one, Rob?
I don't
Well,
get
that's
to pick
his
that.
pick.
I
No,
don't
no.
get to pick.
You get to choose your picture that you.
Oh, I don't
represent.
care. Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah, that one. That is the best one.
Steve, you want this one?
That one. Look at that
No,
one.
go up.
Look at that. Holy shit. Oh.
Oh, why am I not recording this? All right, you guys go first. Let me get the camera set up. I got to get the Patreon supporters what they need.
I gotta go with this one.
Oh my god.
That's my vote.
Oh, it's hard not to, man. All right. Well, my guy's out already because
All right.
we can't both pick.
So Chris is going with my pick.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with Rob's pick.
So the only thing it's for me to do
You-
is either
you're-
we deadlock,
Yeah.
or I pick your pick. So that's easy for me.
Deadlock.
Let's get a good one up.
They're all good. There's no bad ones.
I know.
There's no fucking.
Are we
bad
ready?
ones.
Can I look?
Yeah, you can look.
Oh, this fucking guy. This fucking guy. He's got his skin stitched on.
Look at that fucking
He's
hairline.
wearing someone else's skin.
Yes. Good call.
Doesn't he look like he's wearing someone else's skin? Like it's in
Buffalo
every
Bill.
picture. Yeah.
Buffalo Bill.
He's like a deranged albino. You know, like
Hair looks totally natural.
yeah,
Look
yeah,
at that.
yeah.
It's like sprinkled from the top.
I think his hair is natural. I just think it's a terrible haircut.
I
Definitely
know
not
Who cuts his hair?
That's definitely not real.
the
What
fucking,
is that? How do they put that out there?
that's horsehair. Like,
That's even Jed.
Holy
like, hold
shit.
on. I know rich people like do weird shit and act weird ways and whatnot, and like think they can get away with shit that most people can't. But like, as a human being, you have to look in the mirror and be like, I'm gonna look like the ghoul my father was. Like, he should do something to fix his fucking
Yeah,
appearance.
Mark Davis. Oh, I don't know if we said it.
Oh,
yeah, we're
yeah.
doing Mark Davis right now.
This fucking goblin
Oh,
ghoul
yeah, we definitely
looking.
didn't say it.
He looks like a juice box. Looks like Humpty. Looks like a Humpty Dumpty. 'Cause that's Humpty Dumpty. I don't know. If
He's
I-
definitely got some secrets too.
oh my God. Does he have a wife?
I don't know.
You mean a beard?
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
at.
that's a beard all day.
I mean, how does he get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and go, "Looking good. All right, let's go."
He's got a child wife.
look at.
She's bigger than him.
And he's not even like I'm not even. Trying
Laundry's done.
I'm not even trying to say he's gay. He's definitely a molester,
Yeah, he's
allegedly.
But I bet he molests girls, little girls.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But that is fucking creepy.
He's
that
sticking
picture.
his
That picture
digits
is
in.
fucking crazy.
His digits are in all sorts of orifices.
1997.
He's definitely a molester.
What is
Dumb
this?
phone.
This is a today I learned. So it's like a fact they found out about him.
So, the owner of the Oakland Raiders NFL team is worth $500 million, but drives a 1997 minivan. All right, so he's a fucking child molester.
And carries a 2003 dumb phone. Until recently, he ate at Hooters every Tuesday night for $12.99 all you could eat wings. Davis travels to Southern California to get his unusual bowl haircut.
He eats dinner for $12 at Hooters, but flies to fucking Southern California for his haircut. What the fuck?
Fucking garbage haircut.
You know,
God.
it's just a shame that a guy like that has more money and power than I do, because it's
Can you give Joe a flash of the other options?
Yeah, this was Rob's vote.
that would have been good.
It still can be.
Reuben Foster. No, I got whatever. He dug his own hole. Laundry's done.
And this is Chris's pick.
Hopefully
Yo.
Steve's wife doesn't hear you screaming that and kill you. Or him.
Did you hear about the guy that was screaming, "I'm gonna kill you! Oh, why won't you die?" And the fucking neighbors called the cops. And
Was he playing video games?
No, he was trying to kill a spider. This
Have you
guy,
seen this guy?
This guy here looks like. Do you know who? What is that
What
guy?
is that?
Do you know who the OG Barry is?
No.
Or whatever that fucking.
Yeah,
guy
that's
is.
cut like that though. Like it's cut to be like it's trying to be funny. The regular picture of him is fucking funny. Like that's him for real.
Yes.
And it's fucking like that's the one you make fun of. Like that's not trying to be funny. The other ones are trying to be funny. That's just what he looks like.
Oh my God.
His whole face looks chapped.
He looks like.
Wife.
He looks like a pile of human shit. A pile of shit stuffed into a Seahawk uniform
A
is what
chapped
this guy.
pile of shit.
Yeah. God. Go back to fucking Oklahoma.
All right, so we didn't say this one either. This is Paul McQuiston, a former Seahawk and Raider. I think he had twin brothers, and they both played somewhere. I don't know. And they both look like that.
He allegedly has HIV. Stretching? Yeah, that's a stretch. No, that's a fat asshole stretch. All right.
What are we moving on to here?
Emails.
Yeah, so I could go home. Daddy's not feeling well.
Okay.
He's going to shit all over the floor.
If you want to email us, you can get at us. Even during our off weeks, we will get to them eventually. That's goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. The Instagram is always there for you if you want to check us out there. Curran's running that train now. That's Gold-Blooded Podcast. And there is a Twitter that he periodically says something on. That's Gold-Blooded Pod. And leave us a review.
You fucking cunt twat.
I'm not going to go that far, but it would be nice to get a few reviews from all you people.
I don't know if these topics are going to come up in the email, so I'm going to bring them up in case they don't.
Okay.
But do we want to discuss the Antonio Brown situation?
Yes. Yeah, we should.
And there was another one. I'll remember it as we go.
OBJ?
No, keep going. I'll remember it as we talk about Antonio Brown.
I'm sure that anybody listening to this right now has been following what's been happening the past 2 days with Antonio Brown and what happened there in Pittsburgh, and he didn't play in the final game and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't even think I need to explain that. Everybody already knows what happened. He no-showed for 3 straight days and showed up on Sunday expecting to play, and they said, no, you're not playing.
I
That's
actually heard
wild.
today that he didn't show up. I heard that Sunday morning his agent called Mike Tomlin and said, Antonio's feeling better and he's ready to play today. And Mike Tomlin was like, slow down. That's not how this works. I would love for him to come down to the stadium and we can have a chat. But playing is not on the menu for today.
Right.
Like, right off the rip. Like, there was no, like, maybe you'll play today. Like, Tomlin was up front and said, you're not playing today. You can come down, we can talk, but you're not playing today.
Right.
That's what I heard.
And he has been seemingly adamant about wanting to become a 49er. Not like any other team. He's not doing this with any other team except for the Niners, where he unfollowed the Steelers on Twitter and followed the 49ers and following 49ers players and liking edits of him in 49ers uniforms. And there was reports saying that he's requested a trade and blah, blah, blah. There was also rumors of Odell Beckham Jr. possibly being available in a trade to us. And
I have a couple thoughts on it. OBJ, let it be known I want nothing to do with. On Antonio Brown, I think there's a lot of things at play here. I think Antonio Brown is a head case. I think he's a drama queen. I think he needs more attention than he gets. But I don't know what I read into this. Antonio Brown strikes me as the kind of guy that's like that girlfriend you had, that if you weren't giving her enough attention, she might go like some other guy's pictures to get more attention out of you.
But she might do
Like,
something way
she's not-
crazier, too.
Or she might. It depends on who she is.
Right.
She might not be like that at all. Antonio Brown might not have no plans on going anywhere else. But this is just a way to get the Steelers back in his ball court. Get them, take the upper hand, make them have the lower hand. I think he's a scumbag. I think he's fucking nuts. Not a scumbag. I think he's a drama queen. I think he's more...
he's got issues
than we need. But I also think that it can't be a coincidence that both players that have had this much drama came from the same locker room. It can't possibly be a coincidence that they couldn't figure out this Le'Veon Bell bullshit and they have an Antonio Brown
fucked
problem.
up 2
It can't be
Pro Bowl players.
Quite possibly the 2 best players at their position.
Right.
I mean, it just can't be coincidental. I mean, it could be coincidental that they're bad at choosing character. Like, that could be what happened. You know, like if we drafted Aldon Smith and we drafted Reuben Foster. But there were 2 different, GMs. But if that was the case, maybe we have shown a pattern of drafting the wrong guy that way. So maybe there's something there. But it just seems like they could have figured something out with one of these guys. I mean, fuck.
I agree. Because both of them could have, either one of those guys could have pushed them over the edge to get into the actual fucking playoffs. Yeah.
And either one of them
they won the game. It was just out of their control.
Right,
that would have been fucking epic if it was in their control and they lost and they didn't play Brown. That would have been fucking nuts.
But both of them could be argued as the best player at their position this year. Like, that's the part that's crazy to me. It just can't all be the same, The
whole Odell Beckham versus Antonio Brown, who would you rather want? I think when it comes down for me, is very different than a lot of people that listen to this podcast. I think everybody here, we live in New England, and we are very close to New England Patriots fans in their media, and New York Giants fans in their media, and New York Jets fans in their media. And I don't know if anybody listening to this would feel the same way we do, but I cannot fucking stand Odell Beckham Jr. as a player. Well,
he'd fucking die.
I think that here's the difference, too. We all have Giants fans friends.
Yes.
Do they like Odell Beckham?
No.
Yes.
No, I know.
I don't have any. Every Giants fan that I know is not an Odell Beckham
Agreed.
fan.
Any Giant fan I know says, you know what? Great athlete, but at the end of the day, I don't think he's what's best for this locker room, and I think the best thing for us and him is to go the other way.
Yeah, different from
Agreed.
me.
And no Steelers fans have said, get Antonio Brown the fuck out of here.
No.
Nobody has said
Agreed.
that.
So,
but I think realistically, it's too close, one of those things where you're too close to the situation. Realistically, when you look at it, you have Odell Beckham, who's only 26, who's, he's a fucking crybaby and a cunt, but I don't think he's as much of a head case as Antonio Brown is, who is Antonio Brown the bigger head case all in all, and also older. I mean, any GM with zero bias opinion would take Odell Beckham Jr. over Antonio Brown in a second if they're making the same money.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I disagree.
Just based on age, pretty much just based on age. I think Antonio Brown.
I think if you took numbers and put them on a page without names,
yes,
then you're right. Like if you said this guy, these are his numbers and his age and his money, and this guy, these are his numbers, his age, and his money, then I think you're right, of course. But I also think if you said Odell Beckham Jr. or Antonio Brown, I think you're wrong.
I mean, I think you got Odell Beckham Jr. who throws tantrums on the sideline because he's pissed off that he's either A, not gotten into his game, or B, the Giants are losing. And then you got but he would never go AWOL for 3 days in a row and throw a fucking fit in that fashion.
I disagree. I think he totally would. Just because he hasn't doesn't mean he would.
I don't know for sure, but I get the gut feeling that the Giants organization is very different than the Steelers organization.
Right.
Yes, that too.
That's where I have trouble differentiating those two. And again, I have to go back to I have multiple Giants fan friends that are fucking over the OBJ thing.
And have been for this whole year.
Steelers fans are over the Antonio Brown thing.
Agreed.
I think that Antonio Brown is the bigger head case, but I can deal with him more because he's not such a fucking crybaby. I think the whole crybaby and the cunt that Odell Beckham Jr. is the tipping point for me personally, but I don't expect people listening to this to have the same opinion.
Antonio Brown's beef seems like ego.
Yes.
And Odell Beckham's is ego plus he's a cunt.
He's just a cunt.
Yeah, I think and to be honest with you, I think if you look at those two guys, I think Brown is a guy who maybe with the right veteran leadership, like if a guy like Richard Sherman pulled him aside and was like, hey man, maybe you should just try to portray yourself a little differently. I don't think there's any change in Odell Beckham at all. That's just my take.
I actually feel the exact opposite. I think that it'd be easier to change Odell Beckham Jr. at this point than it would be to change AB.
I think the only way to change Odell Beckham is to make him what he wants. I think the only way to fix either of them currently is to make them the star that they want to be made.
Yes.
You have to throw them the ball X amount of times or they're not going to be. And that is not how Kyle Shanahan
Yeah, I
runs
don't
a
want
fucking
that.
offense.
Yeah, that's the last.
I think both of them, that's the only way you're going to get that. They have to go somewhere like when Calvin Johnson was in the with the Lions, where he was getting that. You're getting that many targets.
Well, let me ask you this: who do you think cares about winning more between the two? If you think
OBJ.
You think he cares about winning more,
I do.
That's what I'm saying.
I do believe that.
So you
I
got
do 100%
Antonio Brown, who cares more about his own
because
stats.
he has shown up even when he was bitching.
Yes, and you've never seen OBJ throw a tantrum on the sideline when his team was winning.
That's fair.
It was always when his team was losing.
That's a good point.
So
That's a good point.
But I just cannot stand how much of a crybaby and how much of a
Right.
cunt he is, and that's
I know.
just basically all it comes down to for me.
Joe, you still don't like him even with the partying he was doing?
OBJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just don't. I don't like him at all. I don't. And he had the blonde hair. He's looking real cute. No, I'm just not.
He's
not a fan.
he's just mentally weak. He is about
Yeah.
as mentally weak as you can possibly fucking get.
I see that. Yeah, that's all I see. I see
Yeah, it's a
a
tough one.
cunt mush. Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I have trouble with all of the NFL bullshit because the whole thing, like, we don't know anything. Like, George Kittle might have started that whole thing because Kyle Shanahan put him up to it.
Yeah, who knows?
Because Kyle Shanahan can't talk.
Yeah.
But you can't stop a player from tweeting at each other. We don't know if John Lynch went to Kittle and told. We don't know anything. Or if they're just rogue players being fucking goofballs. They might be boys.
Yeah.
And fucking Brown might have put him up to it. Who the fuck knows? We don't know anything. That's in
an effort to help his situation, you know.
And the whole thing, like with the rumors that there might be a OBJ might be available and the Niners might be interested. For all we know, that's OBJ's fucking agent putting that out there
his
because he
people.
wants to go. He might have said to his agent, "Hey, how do I get over to the 49ers right now?
Or
we'll just put this fake story out and we'll get the ball
Or
rolling."
how do I squeeze more money? I'm
Who
not
the
saying that's
fuck
what he's
knows?
doing, but yeah, there's alternative
believe
motives
any of it.
everywhere. Yeah.
You know, it's all. And I don't know what to believe ever as far as news reporting.
Well-
and especially because we've seen news reporters who don't even know who's playing in a fucking game.
The
So how
fact
do they
that-
know any of this shit?
Yeah, I mean, I think what it all boils down to is that you hear rumors all the fucking time, but then when Antonio Brown goes on an entire 2-day charade of doing nothing but subliminally telling everyone that he wants to be a 49er, I think that's what's causing the most waves about this, because most players, when rumors come out about them, they'll defute them or they'll
Oh,
whatever.
he's never gonna do that.
But Antonio Brown has gone on a legit 2-day charade about wanting to be a 49er.
But I see him being that guy anyways, though, just like feeding into it. Just
Yeah.
to feed, even if he has if he wants to die a Steeler, I see him being that guy that thinks it's fucking funny.
Yeah, just
Right.
Like
trying
Marshawn Lynch would do that in a second.
to try to get
just to be a fucking lunatic.
or to try to
Yeah.
use their leverage.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
because he thinks it's funny. Like, first of all, I could see everyone in this room doing it. I mean, we reply to our emails because it's a fucking funny response. Like, if we were sitting here and one of us was on a fucking NFL team and I was like, yo, I see George Kittle, I dare you to fucking write back something that makes the league think you're interested. You would do it? Of course you would. We're just fucking retards. I don't know what to believe. I think we all agree that we'd rather Antonio Brown.
Agreed, no question.
We would, but I don't expect the majority of the fans to feel that way. I think a majority of the fans would pick Odell
You think so?
just because they're not as close to the situation as we are. And
wish we
I
could
just
get a
think it's
real-
different.
I wish we could get a real answer. Maybe we could get Kern to put it up as a poll,
Yeah.
because most of the people that follow
Yeah.
that aren't our listeners. So
Yeah.
it would be like legit.
No. Actually, most of them are our listeners, probably.
The people that comment are, but there's like 10,000.
Oh, an Instagram poll.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
you were
yeah.
talking about Twitter. Yeah. Kern could do an Instagram poll, but yeah, I'd be interested to see how
Yeah,
that turned
I'm
out.
just curious. I could totally see both sides. I
Yeah.
mean, we're unanimous, so I could see people agreeing, but I can see what you're saying.
All right, you ready to get into some emails here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Daddy
There was
wants,
another thing, but I
Daddy
can't
wants to
remember.
go home. He's not feeling so hot. This cold is coming on fast.
Did it have anything to do with the draft or the Lynch and Shanahan presser?
It might have been about Josh Allen.
Okay. He just dominated
But I
his
figured
fucking
we
bowl
wait
game.
until we do a draft
Yeah, let's wait
thing
on
for
that.
But I thought I had something. If I think of it,
Just interrupt.
I'll ring it up.
No problem.
Oh, Just Joe. I assume there's going to be something in his email about.
Probably.
Okay.
We're starting
If not,
with him.
if he doesn't tell the whole story, we will.
Okay.
Okay, so Just
I
Joe.
want to make sure we touched on that.
Just Joe, bro. Well, we're going to talk about this now, I guess, says the title. The nicknames were made known, but did anyone see the sign on TV? Because I forgot to record.
Oh, I didn't even think to watch for it.
I watched from my phone, so I couldn't.
Yeah, I didn't catch it.
You have it on NFL. It would be tough
Rewind.
to watch that whole game.
Yeah.
There's no way to send that game, right? Fuck.
Nope.
We got to get a better idea where you were sitting, Joe, and then I'll take the time to watch the game and try to fast forward through and see if I can find it on the replay with your blog.
Yeah.
I'll take one for the team on that and look through it. But Just Joe has to at least tell us where he was sitting before I just watch this entire shit fucking game to try to get a fucking view of it.
All right,
It
so
seemed like he was behind the Niners bench, but I need to give us an actual
section.
Yard line height.
No, just give us your section.
Okay, and then I'll do the research.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, give us an idea.
Yeah. So let's see what he says on the audio here, and then if not, we'll do our best to explain it.
All right, Gold-Blooded Podcast. What's up, you little puppy cunts? It's me, my son Marcos, and little Joseph right here. We just got done going to the game. And son of a gun, did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
We got to meet Kittle. We got to meet Pettis, Warner. We got McGlinchey's attention, Garoppolo's attention, Bourne's attention. I mean, dude, they heard us. We made it known. I told Kittle, his nickname's Kittle's a bitch. I told his family. His family was right there. That's how we got to meet him, because I waited for his family to leave, or for him to get done talking to his family. And his girlfriend was like, hey, they want to meet you. So then when he left, we were like, dude, we call him Kittles and Bits. That's his new nickname, this and that. Then I told Dante Pettis, we call you Meow Meow. Then, who else?
Did you see the video of him doing that? Yeah.
Oh, Earthworm Jim, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, and then Jimmy Garoppolo was standing around right after Kittle had broke the record and made that touchdown. And I was like, Earthworm Jim, Earthworm Jim. And then Jimmy Garoppolo kind of looked back and laughed, and he read the sign. A couple people read the sign, and then I had the whole crowd, Kittles and Bits. Dude, it was off the hook. Our defense was if you were there at the game, there were so many freaking holes and so many open players that Goff just straight missed. Salah needs to go. I don't believe in him. I don't like him. I don't think it's cool. The guy next to me was calling. When our defense was on the field, the guy next to me was like, oh, the defense is doing this, watch. The Rams are going to do this. And sure enough. So, that said, it was freaking sick, dude. We had fun. We made the Gold Blood Podcast known. We made the nicknames known, so we'll see where that goes. Until then.
I wish we met the coach.
Yeah, we would have met the coach, and I'd have to tell him, that Joe don't really like him. Not us Joes, another Joe. But, dude, George Kittle is a freaking massive beast, dude. And Pettis, too. But Warner's like a big old, stocky, solid dude. But anyways, all right, I'm gone. Puppy cons. 2019, here we go. Super Bowl champs. And bye.
I'm going rogue here. I'm making a call for the podcast. I know you guys are all going to be on board. But Just Joe is by far the MVP of this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
He should get the trophy.
If we were going back, there was years where Duffy was.
Yeah. Oh, for the 2018
Madison.
campaign?
For sure, there was times that there is no doubt about it that Just
Joe wins
is by far, hands down, unanimous
2018.
MVP.
2018
100%.
MVP, no question.
100%.
So to try to fill in the gaps, Just Joe took his two sons to the game down in Los Angeles there, and they had a sign made that said Jimmy Garoppolo plus Kittles and Bits plus Breda water filter equals.
It said Earthworm Jim.
Yeah,
okay.
Earthworm
What did
Jim.
I say?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, yeah, sorry, Earthworm Jim. Equals 2019 Super Bowl champs. And he's then screaming at players, and he had Dante Pettis' attention, and he's like, hey, on the Gold Blooded Podcast, they call you Meow Meow. And Dante Pettis is just smiling oh, hey, not trying to offend him, but what the fuck is this weirdo talking about?
Dude,
so
how great, if if Jimmy Garoppolo actually turned around and like he was like, "Is that really what they're calling me?" Earthworm Jim.
Amazing.
All right.
So what I was showing Steve is that
Okay.
we talk every week about how during our podcast the Greg Cassell and Steve Young bits come out. So they popped into my podcast app, and the Greg Cassell one says, Greg Cassell says Odell Beckham Jr. would be the best fit in the 49ers offense. I just thought it was perfect timing that I was like, no one else would think that.
I don't think so. I hope not.
Greg Cassell's pretty fucking...
All right, so the next is from, Santa Claus himself, Matthew Matterson. No subject, and he says, I was going to play guitar, but I got a cold. He says, one more voice recording. Let it rip.
Pardon if I sound a little bit different today. I've been going through a cold the last few days. I went through the worst of it, but
totally normal.
I'm still going through it. Anyway, season's over.
Madison.
It came and went.
No offense,
And
Madison.
I'm just going to just talk about the upcoming free agency and draft for a brief period. What I'm expecting to see, I'm hoping to see. Doesn't matter how they pick up these players, free agency or draft, but really, number one would be the edge rusher. One or two edge rushers would be nice. And then two would be getting a maybe another linebacker because of the Reuben Foster situation. And then number three was improving the wide receivers chart. I like to see more weapons utilized for Garoppolo. That said, I could hope for stuff like to see in next season, like one consistency of from the offense. Why I say this is because in the Packers game, in that first half of the Packers game, Niners were pretty consistent until the second half. But I like to see that happen next season with the offense. For 4 quarters in a game, at least. I mean, okay, maybe through most of the season, but I like to see that off the bat, like in the first game this season, to see that offense play consistent. Other than that, I hope everybody had a happy new year. I am out, really.
Bye, Matt.
So before we get to the last voice recording, maybe, Rob, this is what you were thinking about talking about, the fact that this is kind of a big deal. Greg Papa is replacing Teddy Ballgame as the voice of the 49ers.
No, it was the Just Joe stuff.
Okay. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it all.
I just
like
read
Ted.
something about it.
I like Ted.
I like him too.
It says he's staying with the team, but they're not saying what, which means that they probably forced him into something. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they'd be hyping it if it was like a promotion.
And Greg Papa was the voice of the Raiders for, 25 years or something.
Yeah.
From what I've heard,
But he used to be with the Niners.
no, he was with
That's
them.
what I just read, buddy.
It must have been a long time ago, like forever ago. But I've listened to Ted Robinson, all of his radio segments for the most part over the years on KNBR, and then I've listened to Greg Papa, all of his radio segments over the years. I've never watched a game that Greg Papa was doing the play-by-play of, so I've never heard that aspect of it. But I will say, Greg Papa knows the schematics of the game better than Ted Robinson.
So, do you know Cam Inman?
Yes.
This was his take on the situation.
Yep.
And I was wrong. He wasn't with the Niners. What happened is the Raiders foolishly let Greg Papa go, and he's now the Niners' gain. I thought it said again. So, he's arguably the best in the NFL. I don't know how radio ratings are, but I can't imagine they're great. But having a voice of the 49ers for video and other big events is still a big deal. So.
I'll say this. If, let's just say hypothetically, you sent Ted Robinson to one draft room to draft players, and you sent Greg Papa to another draft room to draft players, I firmly believe that Greg Papa's team would completely destroy Ted Robinson's team. Like, he just knows more about the schematics about the game of football.
All right.
I don't know whether he's more talented, vocally talented than Ted Robinson, but it's a big change. I mean, the guy was the voice of the Raiders for over 2 decades. It's crazy.
He didn't want to move to Vegas. All right, Just Joe is chiming in again.
No, they fired him for being critical of the team. That's why they fired him.
Well, then they're fucking ignorant.
And Ted was the voice of the Niners for 10 years, too.
Yeah.
I think 12 to be exact.
Yeah, that's because he did a good job. I thought he did a really good job. All right. Just Joe says, farewell, puppy cunts. And there's a picture, which we're going to have Curran post, of his family and George Kittle at the game. And now there's some farewell audio. Chris is going to dial up.
We're at an hour.
Wow.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Perfect. We're going to end on this.
Till Sunday. Oh, man, I already said what I had to say, guys. I don't know what else there is to say.
So what are you going to say for 2 minutes?
Hopefully, Kittles and Bits. Hopefully it makes an impact out there, because I screamed it off the top of my lungs. Should have recorded that and sent it to you guys so you guys could see. I screamed out to Matt Breida Water, screamed at Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, that's what I will say. I don't know if I already said it, but I was screaming, Earthworm Jim, and that dude turned around, gave a quick look towards the sign. I don't know if he read it. It didn't seem like it, and he laughed. So I think we gotta, we got some hope here getting these nicknames stuck. Ran into a couple people that said they listened to Better Rivals, and I was like, Better Rivals, bro, you gotta listen to Go Blooded Podcast. These dudes are freaking they're like Better Rivals is like compared to the Go Blooded Podcast. These dudes are straight like. Man, it ain't for the faint of ears, that's for sure. It's like an 18 and over type podcast. They let you call in, and they're like, for real, we're going to check it out. But anyways, it's so hard to say goodbye. Anyways, peace out, Joe. Peace out, Steve. Peace out, Rob. Peace out, Chris. Peace out, Madison. Peace out, Duffy. Peace out, puppy cunts. Peace out. Last season, on to newer and better things.
Put your seatbelt on.
All right, later, guys. Oh, hey, Steve, we still might have a chance to get your Bosa guy, because the Cardinals, they're looking at protecting that quarterback. So everybody's saying that they're not going to take your Bosa. So we might have a Bosa, Steve. Steve might get his Bosa. Bosa. Later, guys. Peace.
Steve don't want Bosa no more.
The fuck out.
Steve's moved on from Bosa.
Steve found
I've moved on from Bosa.
What if we were number 1?
I'd want Bosa. No, I don't know. I haven't looked at Bosa
They
yet.
say Josh Allen's pushing for that spot.
My preach of tanking for number 1 was never about the one player. It was more about the control you have, the power you have in that position.
You had a hard on for Bosa. All right, with that said, we'd like to thank you people for sticking with us. It's nice of you.
We made the most of a shit season. I'll say that.
We do
every
every
year. We lost
year.
Jimmy in fucking week 3, and we all knew that the season was over. Even the most optimistic viewer of this team knew that the season was over.
It's because they wasted those 5 games of beat hard.
We all stayed positive through the Jerick McKinnon ACL.
Yeah.
The Jimmy G one was the last straw.
That was all right. So, with that said, we'll see you motherfuckers in a few weeks. Fuck off.